How did I get here?
I don't know. Gonna ask you the same thing.
Hello, world! Welcome to a brand new episode of Mr. FLIXTER Show. I'm your host, of course, Mr. FLIXTER, aka Chris. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the dishonorable mentions for the worst horror movies of 2025.
Today's the day.
What do you think was the worst horror movie of 2025? Leave comments below and we can talk about it.
I think you're not seeing the forest for the trees.
Or the ghost for the graveyard.
Welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on my video. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate that you did.
He said he was on the verge of a discovery so terrific that he doubted his own sanity. There was a strange look in his eyes, some mystery.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I am Chucky, the killer doll, and I dig it!
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I want to play a game.
I'm Chris Benson, aka Mr. FLIXTER.
Here to talk motion pictures.
Mr. FLIXTER.
If you like what you see and you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. They can be part of the conversation too.
People weren't even listening though. They're not even engaged anymore. It's like they're just all waiting for a punchline.
Well. This is Ursula. Prepare to be disappointed. In the movie films, not Daddy's video. I think not. Oh.
So, this video is kind of like the prologue for my top 5 worst horror movies of 2025. Coming soon.
Sorry I'm late. I had a...
Oh, it's not fine. I mean, it is fine. It's not a problem. Sorry, I got a drink because I was nervous. It clearly hasn't helped.
And then, of course, I'll do the honorable mentions and then the top 5 best horror movies of 2025.
Wonderful shot. It's real poetry.
Do you want to know more? Stay tuned. Bear in mind, these aren't going to be full reviews, but I will have full reviews available on Letterboxd, so they're there if you want to read them. These are just kind of like the highlights of those.
Well, look who came out to play. What are you going to do? Sing me a song? Help me with my homework?
No, but I might still take you to school.
And yes, I'm going to get into spoilers.
Hold. Hold. Fucking go.
So, my first dishonorable mention is The Woman in the Yard.
Mom! Yeah. There's a woman in the yard.
After a fatal car accident left her disabled, Ramona, a single mother, is still grieving the loss of her husband while having to care for her children. She must do everything she can to protect her family when a mysterious woman clad in a black veiled dress appears in her front yard. Long story short, is this another Blumhouse blunder? Totally, and here's why.
Take your best shot. Motherfucker.
It was directed by Wame Kale Sarah. It was written by Sam Stefanak. There is a visual style that elevates the movie, and it's filmed mostly in one location, which keeps things interesting by using a variety of shots in tandem with how he uses light and shadow. The cinematography is impressive. Most of the movie takes place during the day, so that makes it a little more difficult to create a creepy atmosphere. Sometimes he succeeds. It's a stylistic choice. Horror in the daylight works because it removes the audience's usual safety cue that darkness equals danger, until the film undermines itself. The Woman in the Yard does this cool thing where she stretches out her arms and she casts a shadow inside the house to interact with things that she touches. I like this Nosferatu style effect that they have. Those elongated, intrusive fingers aren't just an aesthetic choice. You can see the inspiration there. It creates a very intrusive feeling, like the house is no longer safe. Even in the brightly lit daytime setting, the visual language forces a kind of psychological nightfall because of how they use shadows. That contrast can produce unease because it violates the expectation that horror belongs in the darkness all the time. They also use mirrors in cool ways. They add tension with a sense of surrealism because they make you rethink what you just saw. The mirrors are de-establishing tools that interrupt narrative certainty. Instead of just adding tension, they actively question what is real versus what is hallucination or symbolic or a dream. It's got this M. Night Shyamalan feel to it. In a good way. In a good way. This filmmaking tactic pushes the viewer into the same uncertain mental space as the protagonist, which ties directly into the themes of grief or a fractured perception. The script does well at establishing family dynamics while addressing the tragic backstory in a short amount of time. It doesn't take long to get to the point. This is the point where I'm out of nice things to say. The pacing suffers from repetitive sequence structure built around static escalation. Scenes tend to follow a familiar rhythm. The family reacts to the woman's presence in the yard. The tension briefly builds through atmosphere or dialogue, and then it resets without meaningful resolution or any escalation. The yard-invading woman may change positions, so she's closer to the house occasionally. But the dramatic situation itself rarely evolves. There's not really any stakes, because it's not clear what's going on. Not until later. Therefore, the movie feels like it's longer than its actual runtime. Because this creates a looped narrative pattern, where dread is maintained through repetition, rather than progression. Things don't get worse. Things get bad, reset, get bad, reset. Wash, rinse, repeat. You see the problem?
Look, I'm just trying to help you. Because you seem confused and lost.
Danielle Deadweiler is Ramona.
Get off my property, or I'm calling the police.
Today's the day, Ramona.
She gives a committed performance, but she's not written as a likable character. Granted, there are people that are like this in real life because of trauma discourse. Prior to the incident, Ramona seems like an unfit mother. She was miserable in marriage and is completely self-absorbed while lacking self-awareness.
You're not happy. Okay. But if you want things to get better, you're gonna have to dig deeper.
She has no redeeming qualities. She's a deliberately difficult protagonist, shaped by grief and emotional withdrawal, in a way that doesn't encourage sympathy, yet resists it. I don't feel bad for her. She did this to herself. There's that barrier there to emotional access. Okui Okpokwasili, sorry if I butchered that, is the titular female on the lawn. A mysterious figure covered in black clothing, sitting in the chair ominously. Ooh, scary.
Your children are such darlings. Ripe enough to eat.
I like the cadences that she uses in her voice.
Today's the day.
It's unclear what she is, though. Is she the Grim Reaper? A demon? A ghost? This is where questions arise. If she's a manifestation of Ramona's grief, how is she interacting with reality? How are the kids communicating with her? It doesn't make sense. Peyton Jackson and Estella Kahiha, sorry if I butchered that, play her children.
Annie, it's okay. I know Mom hasn't really been Mom lately, okay? But I'm here, alright?
They're believable in the roles, whether they're in peril or acting naturally as kids in the dramatic scenes. They do a good job at pulling it off. The typical obnoxious, rebellious teenager cliche is overdone, though. Not every teenager is like that. And no offense to the actress or anything like that, but I'm not sure if the little girl is supposed to have like a mental disability or something, because she kind of acts that way, but it's never like stated outright or anything like that. Or maybe I'm just connecting lines with invisible dots. Comment below, correct me if I'm wrong. So, this might be a long shot, but I think we got another Blumhouse blunder on our hands.
The whole thing blew up in my face. Ah, that's a shame.
This movie isn't memorable. There's just not much to it. It's simple to the point where it's tediously repetitive. This would have been better as a short film. It's boring. About halfway through, The point to the story's heavy-handed metaphor leaves little room for fright or intrigue. Most of the time, nothing happens, except for the woman gets closer in the yard, until you realize what this movie's really about. This is where I can see it being divisive among people. It touches on the topic of suicide, leaving more to be desired. It's left ambiguous at the ending, so the message is muddled. Is this movie pro or anti-suicide? You tell me. What do you think? So, for me personally, this feels like an inferior version of Hereditary. The film's all about grief-driven horror, but structured similarly to that film, where emotional trauma externalizes into an encroaching presence. However, unlike that film's clearly escalating sense of inevitability, this movie repeats the central metaphor without meaningful escalation, weakening that sense of looming dread, an uncertainty that feels unresolved rather than purposeful. So I just can't recommend this film. So, my official grade for The Woman in the Yard is a small popcorn.
You need to stop all this.
What, you just pointed to all of me?
Yes, that's it.
What did you think of The Woman in the Yard? Leave comments below and we can talk about it. And remember, if this flick delivers anything, it certainly has a woman in a yard.
Mom! Yeah. There's a woman in the yard.
Whoa, wild! It's now a film critic extraordinaire. The Woman in the Yard isn't scary. I'm just glad she wasn't caught with Hoy Plants down.
So, my next dishonorable mention is Megan 2.0.
What the hell is this? I know how to stop Amelia. Soon she'll be the most dangerous weapon on the planet. Put me in a body and I'll help you stop her.
You remember what happened last time?
Killing me was slightly disproportionate to the crime.
You threatened to rip out my tongue and put me in a wheelchair.
I was upset.
In order to take down the military-grade weapon built by a defense contractor who stole Megan's underlying tech, known as Amelia. Autonomous military engagement, logistics, and infiltration android. The roboticist / advocate for ethical usage of AI, Gemma, resorts to resurrecting her creation after her infamous rampage. Will this flick prove to be an upgrade? No. Just no.
What the fuck?
It was directed by Gerard Johnstone, and it was written by John Stone and Akila Cooper. It stars Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, and Ivana Sakno. Sorry if I butchered that. So, my biggest problem is glaringly obvious. The movie inexplicably shifts genres, going from horror to action comedy. There's little to no fear factor at all, except for a few scenes here and there. The action is subpar. And the movie's not very funny either, even though it tries so hard. Like so hard.
Hold on to your vaginas.
There's uninspired espionage elements and an overcomplicated plot. The film never really fully commits to one idea, so it feels jumbled, rather than feeling like a natural progression of events, like a sequel should do.
Sorry. Whatever it is you're trying to do, I can't be a part of it.
The tone is all over the place. During serious moments, a character will randomly crack a joke, or someone will drop their weapon in a comical fashion, or something else silly will happen. The level of slapstick humor feels so out of place.
You and your friends put on quite a show. Well, I got a little showstopper of my own right here. Oh, God damn it!
It almost comes across like the movie is a parody, not a satire. But I know it's not meant to be. Is it?
I don't get it.
Leave comments below if you can answer my question. What did you get from Megan 2.0? It confused the hell out of me.
I'm not entirely sure what to do. You heard what Gemma said. Get down.
And of course, there's the obligatory dance scene because Megan did it in the last one. And it went viral. I do like Allison Williams returning as Gemma.
Before we go any further, there are two things we need to talk about. The first is your face.
What about it?
She's good at being stoic, logical, and an intellectual type. While showing love for her niece, she's still human. Her motivation is clearly based on many facets. But Katie, her niece, is the most important thing. And Williams acts with more conviction this time, showing more versatility than she did before.
I don't want your bullshit simulation of empathy. What I need is the machine that is willing to stop at nothing to protect Katie. Are we clear?
And Violet McGraw returns as Katie.
Everyone keeps trying to tell me you're nothing more than a bunch of ones and zeros. And the only way I could deal with what I did to you was to believe that they were right.
Her acting is better this time around, too.
But somewhere inside there was this voice that kept telling me that's not true. That there's more to you than that.
And she's written as a more likable character this time. She's not a total brat like the last time.
Do not let her get inside your head. You remember what happened last time.
Yes, every day. But just because someone does something bad doesn't make them a bad person. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Her maturity is reflected in both her acting and the writing.
Megan, you have to help us. Not because it's part of your programming, but because it's the right thing to do.
Amy Donald returns as Megan. Model 3 generative android. I'm sure the writer was proud of that one. Her robotic movements, along with her subtle body language, also shows an improvement in her performance. The CGI still doesn't look right, though. Look at that. That's horrifying. That might be the scariest thing about the movie. That's not good.
Change my face and I'll change yours.
And Jenna Davis returns as the voice of Megan. So one did like the body acting. The stunt work too, I guess. And the other's the voice. She suits the role fine. But her voice is so like roboticized or like automated or like auto-tuned or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of hard to judge her voice acting, you know what I mean?
People are morons.
Megan?
And I don't know if most of her jokes were like written or if she like made them up on the spot. Maybe she thought she could do some ad-libbing. I don't know. But it's not funny.
So remember the time I strangled you and set the lab on fire? I want you to know. I see you.
It's so not funny. They try so hard, it's not funny.
Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I want to be taller.
This movie's painful to watch sometimes. Because some of the jokes really do make you want to cringe. And I don't like using that term.
I have a yeast infection on my vagina.
Megan.
That I have the greatest respect for China.
I mean, it could have gone either way.
But I did like Jermaine Clement as Alton Appleton.
They say that this is too much power for one man to wield.
I say, it depends on the man.
He's a corrupt tech billionaire whose company has breakthroughs in biomechatronics. It's too bad he's not in the movie more, though. Ivana Sakno is Amelia, the hostile new robot created from Megan's original design.
Why would you side with them? After all they did to you.
She just might be the best part of the movie. She's really good in the role. She doesn't say much, but she has this presence. She gives these looks. If looks could kill, I'll tell you. And there are a couple scenes where Amelia has to take out these other people. Like there's one scene in the hotel room where she's hiding in a suitcase and she has to assemble herself, and she takes this guy out. It's really quick. She like snaps his neck, but hey, it's something. And the other scene, the way she takes out Alton, is really cool too, because she does this thing where she hacks into this device that's in his head, so he can see her, but he's looking at her, but then she switches it to like her perspective. So she's walking toward him while he's looking at her, looking at him. Like, it's hard to describe, but it's a really cool scene. It's too bad there's not more of that. Instead, we get all this other BS. What's with that? They focus on the unimportant, boring stuff and the slapsticky parody stuff instead of this cool cybernetic hacking stalker slasher movie they could have done. The whole movie should have been like those other two kills. You see what I'm saying? So, this movie isn't much of an upgrade. More like degradation.
Hated it!
It was a little better than I expected, but I came in with low expectations. The main cast returns, but the script lacks verisimilitude. It goes so big and over the top. I half expected a time travel plot. Don't worry. It doesn't go there, thankfully. Instead, we get this predictable hybrid with an identity crisis. It's not Katie's story this time, it's her Aunt Gemma's, until it becomes Megan's story, before shifting to Amelia's perspective, the new robot. See? Jumbles! So, this goes the Terminator 2 route, because Megan's got to stop another robot from doing evil deeds. The horror is more of an afterthought. I do appreciate how it's not just repeating the first Megan, but come on. You had to copy Terminator 2. You're not Terminator 2, or you're never going to be Terminator 2. So don't even try. With the constant debate about AI, they had a chance to explore both sides to the point of reductio ad absurdum. But instead, we get this cheesy slapstick humor and genital humor ad nauseum. So I compared it to Terminator 2, but it's also similar to like Mission Impossible and to an extent Five Nights at Freddy's. Dare I say it? That was a better film? Now that's scary. Yes, it comes across as strange as it sounds too. Whether or not that was intentional is debatable. So I can't really recommend this one either. So, my official grade for Megan 2.0 is a small popcorn.
Hasta la vista, baby.
And remember, the opposite of artificial intelligence is natural stupidity. And this flick pushes the boundaries for that.
That's strange. Your neurotransmitters tell me you're highly aroused.
Alright, that's enough.
Well. They crossed their wires. And it seems this could be the death of the Megan franchise. I say, may she rest in peace. Ho ho ho.
So, my next dishonorable mention is Drop. A widowed mother Violet hasn't been on a date in years. It takes a terrifying turn when she's bombarded with anonymous threatening messages on her phone during an upscale dinner date, leaving her questioning everyone around her. They're all suspects. What if the opening scene from every Scream movie was the whole movie? And this is what you get.
Totally.
It was directed by Christopher Landon. He gives the film a keen sense of style. He shoots most of the scenes very cinematically. Most of the movie takes place in the high-rise, classy restaurant. He uses extreme upwards and downwards angles with a variety of lenses to keep the one location visually appealing. He also uses lighting effectively. As the protagonists try to solve the mystery, he uses light to point out different suspicious people. Very inventive. The set design for the restaurant is incredibly elaborate. It comes equipped with a fully functioning kitchen and bar. However, it's so grandiose, it's the kind of restaurant that would only exist in movies. Landon does a good job of capturing that awkward first date energy.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, it's not fine. I mean, it is fine. It's not a problem. Sorry, I got a drink because I was nervous. It clearly hasn't helped.
Yeah, I had a couple in the car on the way over. Also, it didn't help.
Both people are visibly nervous due to the pressures of dating. The body language speaks for itself. The movie seriously lacks Landon's quirky sense of humor, though. The balance of tone is awkward at best. It tries to play it straight, but then randomly it'll diverge to an attempt of comedy. But not like he does usually. It feels out of place, not offbeat. Granted, the text messages that are shown are done so in a wide variety of unique ways. But most of the movie is just reading text and memes. It might not bother some people, but for me, it slows down the movie's momentum when it could be building tension through dialogue instead. You know, actual conversations between people.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, come on, you know I don't watch that shit.
Why not? Too scared?
So what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
Megan Faye is Violet. Sorry if I butchered that.
Yahtzee.
She gives a grounded performance which anchors the chaos surrounding her. Her comedic timing is better than the others in the cast, because her line delivery made me laugh more than the other characters. She gives these looks that instantly read what she's feeling.
Violet, everything okay?
Her immense self-awareness is crucial because she doesn't want to draw too much attention to the wrong person. That could be costly.
What's going on?
Yeah, I have to call home. I'll be right back.
Brandon Sklenar is Henry.
Can't believe we're actually doing this.
I mean, you are the first guy who didn't ask for feet pics.
It's a second date thing.
Violet's dinner date. He's charming and endearing, but his naivete is only superseded by his lack of independent judgment. He has plenty of reasons to leave, but he's so easily influenced, it's ridiculous. Violet Bean is Jen, Violet's sister. Stay with me, I know it's confusing.
He's been waiting patiently to meet you for months. It's just a date.
I love you. Thank you.
Have fun!
The sibling dynamic is a crucial component of the film. She convinces Violet to go out, she babysits for her son, and she acts as her sister's rock and shoulder to cry on. Bean speaks with conviction, yet effortlessly shows her humorous side.
Okay, let's try this.
Oh, wow. Did you mean to dress like a candy cane?
Then you got Jacob Robinson as Toby. Violet's son.
It's just a date.
I love you. Thank you.
Have fun.
Bye!
He's sweet, confident, and he adequately fills the role. He's fine, not exceptional, but not bad either. It was written by Gillian Jacobs and Chris Roach. The premise starts off as a simple hypothetical. What if someone blackmailed you into killing your first date?
No. I can't do that.
The problem is, time is wasted on this domestic violence subplot. Useless side characters, and the most roundabout way to plan a murder that I've ever seen in the movie.
What?
You followed directions well, Sydney. Now welcome to the final act.
It's not just impractical, it's implausible. Because it's too convoluted. For example, what's with the waiter character, Matt, played by Jeffrey Self? He's sort of a red herring, but he's got this subplot about being an improv actor and how it's his first night as a waiter. And then it doesn't really come back and tie around to anything. He's the comic relief. But the conflicting tone, like I said, is jarring. Not really sure what role he's supposed to be. Another issue is the tension ramps up, only to quickly fizzle out to regain steam again. Sort of like the problem I had with Woman in the Yard.
They seem confused and lost.
Not only does it lack suspense, it feels incoherent. It puts style over substance. It stretches this paper-thin plot so far that it becomes a different movie with a new plot by the time of the finale. The final showdown at the house feels unnecessary and tacked on because everything gets wrapped up neatly in a nice little bow in the restaurant. And why is this restaurant pressurized like an airplane? It doesn't make sense. To make matters worse, there's this focus on this domestic abuse subplot that I mentioned before that spirals into a trivialization of trauma by using it merely as a plot device. We're briefly shown what she's been through in her past, Violet that is. But the trauma discourse afterward is completely skipped over. She cries about being accused of murder, and then that's it. We don't see mental repercussions from it. There's no internal, ongoing struggle to overcome. It just feels distasteful. If you're going to have a message in your movie about a subject matter this serious, then either go all in or don't do it at all. Don't just lightly dip your toe in the water, you know what I mean?
Not in my movie.
Overall, this feels like a big budget Scream knockoff with no mass killer, a low body count, and an absurd murder plot that's more complicated than putting the plot of every Scream movie in one film.
Hello, Sydney. I never said I was in your closet.
Who is this?
I think you know. I'm a fan of scary movies and knives. I want to play a game. Then he dies right now.
What did you do with Marnie?
She's on the cutting room floor. Never say who's there. Don't you watch scary movies? It's a death wish.
That's not funny.
This isn't a comedy. It's a horror film. People live, people die. And you'd better start running.
Hello, Ted.
You wish it was Ted. Don't forget to set the alarm. You might as well just come out here to investigate a strange noise or something. Forget watching Stab. You get to live it. Why are you even here, Randy? You'll never be the leading man.
You do know there are cops all over this house.
I think I'd have just enough time to slice someone open. Think of me as your director. You're in my movie. You got a fun part, so don't blow it.
What?
Do you like scary movies, Sydney?
Can't get him on the phone, can you?
He must be busy.
How do I know you're anywhere near him?
Ever seen the movie Psycho?
What do you want?
To see what your insides look like. I've got plans for you. I'm gonna slit your eyelids in half so you don't blink when I stab you in the face. Have you ever felt a knife cut through human flesh and scrape the bone beneath? But if you want to be in the hospital, I'd be happy to put you there. In the morgue! Poor Billy boyfriend. An innocent guy doesn't stand a chance with you. No matter how hard you try, you'll never be the hero, and you'll never, ever get the girl.
Hey! Is this Trevor?
Do I sound like a Trevor to you? Not gonna make it in time, Sheriff Judy. Sydney Prescott, please.
I'm handling Miss Prescott's calls and appearances. May I take a message?
You are the message. It's an honor.
Perhaps I'm just bitter. Because we got this instead of Landon directing Scream 7 like he was supposed to, because of all the drama going on behind the scenes in that movie.
Please, I'm begging you, please. Don't do this.
Regardless, it's evident Landon is trying to be Wes Craven or Alfred Hitchcock, but he comes across more like M. Night Shyamalan. In a bad way. There's sustaining a suspension of disbelief, and then there's incoherent, incomprehensible lack of logical storytelling that just utterly destroys it. And I love how the villain contradicts himself too. He claims that he's playing chess and he's always 2 moves ahead of Violet. Yet, he's got no backup plan when he's cornered.
Yahtzee.
Like this. Furthermore, it takes so long to get to the conclusion, only to rush the ending. And then it adds on a secondary ending. Why? It just drags out this whodunit aspect by having people act suspicious for no reason other than the plot demands it. The tagline on the poster is even, "Everyone is a suspect." That sounds familiar.
Everybody's a suspect!
Thanks, Randy. It sounds just as familiar as every other cliche plot device used in this movie. This would have been better off as a short film. But if I had to compare it to anything, I'd say it's similar to like Phone Booth and Carry On, and of course, Scream. So, my official grade for Drop is a small popcorn.
It's not you. It's me.
You're giving me the "it's not you, it's me" routine? I invented "it's not you, it's me." Nobody tells me it's them, not me. If it's anybody, it's me.
And remember, don't dream Scream, be Scream.
Don't dream it.
They chose me for a reason.
Shot at the kill, never kill anybody, right?
So, how's this date going?
Hey, I hate to drop this on you, but this flick is less than phenomenal. Much far west.
The next dishonorable mention is 28 years later.
Sit here. Auntie, what's going on? Jimmy, sit still, keep quiet, and do not move from this spot.
A group of survivors of the rage virus live on a small island. When some group members leave on a mission to the mainland, they discover secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated the outside world. Does this flick live up to all the infectious hype? Or should it be quarantined?
Never, not in a million years, absolutely not. No way, Jose, no chance, Lance, yet, negatory, nah, and of course my own personal favorite of all time, man falling off of a cliff. No!
Quarantined. permanently quarantined. So, I'm not going to get too into detail in this one, because I've already done a whole episode where I reviewed this movie. If you're interested, you can watch it on my channel. Enjoy! Director Danny Boyle finally returns to the franchise after the original came out in 2002. It hasn't exactly been 28 years yet, but it's pretty damn close. It feels like 28 years, that's for sure, especially if you've been alive that whole time. Like and subscribe if you know what I'm talking about. And his desire to come back shows how much passion he has for the project. The film was primarily shot using the iPhone 15 Pro Max, body cameras, and drones. The camera rotation during the zombie kills adds little energy to the scenes, but the way they did it made it easier to film in isolated rural locations. It was filmed entirely in the UK. The gore does get pretty gnarly. It doesn't disappoint. The practical effects makeup is that impressive. It's just too bad there wasn't more zombie stuff going on. I didn't like the cinematography. The color palette just seemed off, and the editing was frantic and frustrating. Alex Garland also returned to write the script. His writing is still hit and miss with me, mostly miss. His ambition is only preceded by his lack of focus, in my opinion. I did like how they used high tide as a plot device. That's not seen in movies too often. I'm surprised it's not used more. But there's so many head-scratching character choices. It's baffling. I'm flabbergasted. What made those first two 28 films so compelling was they had likable characters with relatable stories. This movie doesn't really have that. It feels manipulative because of the cancer plot. The opening scene was intense, but it wasn't as impactful as the other opening scenes.
Infected with what?
Rage. The glaring pacing issues throughout the movie are apparent. The first half is fast-paced, but then the second half is slow and unfocused. The tone inconsistently shifts awkwardly between horror, drama, and surrealism. It's jarring, but the themes of family, loss, and survival don't resonate as strongly. And that's because nothing feels cohesive. Most things just feel random. And this movie has one of the biggest WTF endings I've ever seen. I couldn't believe it. I'm still scratching my head. Even after seeing Bone Temple, because after seeing that one, that sheds a whole new light on this movie. And the movie ends so bizarrely, I expected more of that in this one, but thankfully it doesn't go there. So it's like, why did you even include that? Aaron Taylor Johnson and Ralph Fiennes are good, but they're barely in it.
We started to smell death. But this was totally different. The stench was like... It was like a wall. You could touch it.
Do you know the words memento mori?
No.
It's Latin. Ironically, it's a dead language. It means remember death. Remember, you must die.
Jodie Comer is the mother in question who's battling cancer.
This isn't right. It's not right. Where's... Jamie! Where's Dad? Dad's not here.
And she's fine too. But it's unclear what exactly is going on with her until the whole thing gets revealed about the cancer thing. Because it seems like she has dementia or Alzheimer's or something too. I don't know if those two are related. I'm not a doctor. But it was confusing. She doesn't really have a whole lot of dialogue, so she doesn't really have a lot to work with. I do have to give credit to Alfie Williams as Spike. He's a phenomenal child actor. And he does a great job carrying the film with his performance.
Can't go back. Tyson. Oh, God. I want to see a doctor.
You can tell it's inflicted. And he shows it with the expressions on his face. It's all about body language. But not just that, how he reacts to other people. That's also a key sign to a good actor. And I've never seen a child actor display this much versatility in a role before. Not like this. He really takes it to another level. I do like how this movie shows how the rage virus has mutated over the years. We get different types of zombies, sort of like The Last of Us. But it's different enough that it doesn't feel like a ripoff of that. Because it does make sense. Of course the virus is going to mutate and change over the years. G. Lewis Perry plays Samson, one of the alpha zombies. His enormous physique is so intimidating. So when he's charging full speed at the characters, it truly filled me with suspense. There's way too much zombie dawn in this movie though. I get how the zombies wouldn't be wearing clothes, but holy crap, there's too much zombie dawn. So those are just a few reasons why I think this flick should be quarantined. It was one of my most anticipated horror movies last year, which makes it even more disappointing. It's too different from the original, it doesn't have as much tension, and there's a lot more abstract, artsy filmmaking going on. It causes a lot of visual confusion because there's the mix of gritty, glossy, because there's a mix of the gritty style and then there's this glossy style too. And the two just don't match. It also raises a lot of questions. What's with all the lens flares? What's with the frantic editing? Why don't people ever secure their doors? What happened to all the chimps that were originally infected? Aren't there any infected chimp colonies all over the world? And there's no iconic score? Really?
Really? Really?
So if I had to compare this film to something, I'd compare it to Prey. Because they're both long-awaited legacy sequels that revived iconic dormant franchises with fresh character-driven approaches. They're both about young hunters who have a rite of passage, go into the wilderness on their own for the first time, and have to battle against the constant, relentless threat of survival outside of nature itself. Both also function as standalone films. You don't necessarily have to see the other ones to watch this one. However, Prey had a similar consistency for the tone, just like the rest of the franchise. It doesn't feel out of place like this one does. This feels too far removed from the other two films. So, my official grade for 28 years later is a small popcorn with a side of iodine.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
And remember, if the prior films were all the rage, this one feels more passive-aggressive.
This is a glorious day.
A day of judgment.
My children! There's no discharge in the war.
So, in my opinion, a 28 years later is very low. Halfway through, it was looking so grave.
My final dishonorable mention is The Conjuring: Last Rites. Ed and Lorraine Warren, paranormal investigators, confront mysterious entities in one last case involving the Smurl family. Is this final chapter the conclusion franchise fans have been waiting for? Or is it just a reflection of the franchise? In a bad way. In a bad way. Directed by Michael Shavs, he's great at long tracking shots, especially when the Smurl family gets introduced. The camera follows the family around the house, with the camera following different family members behind them for about 2 or 3 minutes. That's impressive from a technical standpoint, because the timing needs to be precise. Or the take would have to get started all over again. He's also good at using light and shadows skillfully. A scene involving the mom on the phone and a pantry is a good example. The kids can be seen blurred in the background running around, while the mom is on the phone, but the cord is being tugged on. Clearly, the kids aren't the perpetrators. The phone gets violently pulled and dragged into the dark pantry. The mom turns on the light, only to find out it's empty. It's all done in one take. That's good stuff. Another scene is primarily lit with candles before getting blown out entirely. It's equally impressive because the darkness forces viewers to pay close attention to what's happening on screen. The sound design effectively amplifies the more horrific moments. A scene where a girl vomits shards of glass is intensified because of how visceral the sounds are. The sound design also exemplifies the creepiness in shots involving a child's toy. Just hearing the thing goes off is so creepy. Because of the subversion of the noises, something innocent becomes something sinister. These moments are few and far between, though. The tonal inconsistencies undercut the impact of the horror aspects. The effects look cheesy, in a bad way. The main antagonist, this mirror demon, looks silly. The scene with Judy in the dress, in the room full of mirrors, was unintentionally funny more than anything. It looks like the ghost is doing naughty things to her. Ow. Comment below if that's just me. It was written by Ian Goldberg, Richard Nang, and David Leslie Johnson McGodrick. Sorry if I butchered any of those names. The script suffers from not offering anything new to the franchise. Once again, it's just more of the same stuff. Pacing undermines the tension. Spending too much time on Warren family drama before the actual case begins. It takes its time to get to the point, and then rushes to the finish line. We don't even get to the Smurl house until an hour into the movie. And it's a 2-hour movie. We don't even get there till like halfway through. WTF?
So there's that.
Once we get there, the film follows the familiar haunted house formula. A family moves into an old home where strange occurrences slowly escalate from flickering lights to creaking doors to full-blown supernatural chaos. Children or pets sense danger first. Skeptics become believers. Cursed objects trigger paranormal activity. And of course, Ed and Lorraine Warren arrive, armed with holy water, crucifixes, and prayers. We have possession, we have tragic backstories, exaggerated exorcisms, and predictable jump scares, involving mirrors, loud noises, and fake-outs. All unfolding exactly how you would expect it. There's literally no surprises. And then, of course, you have to have the obligatory Annabelle scene. And this reference / cameo made me laugh out loud especially. What's with the giant Annabelle doll? It's just goofy looking.
Well, I'm sorry to burst your kabubble, but I just had my ass handed to me, and now this entire department is screwed. What the were you thinking?
Vera Farmiga returns as Lorraine Warren.
That thing in your attic is a demon. It's the first one that we ever encountered. We were young and we were scared, and we almost lost our daughter.
With her usual dramatic gravitas, along with sincere dialogue delivery.
So we told ourselves that the risk was just too great, so we couldn't chance going back. So, yes. We ran away.
Patrick Wilson returns as Ed Warren.
Everything you see in here is either haunted, cursed, or been used in some sort of ritualistic practice.
With his alluring gaze and charisma.
Nothing's a toy. Not even the toys.
Together, their chemistry is undeniable, as always.
Thank you for this wonderful party. All my favorite people are right here.
Mia Thompson plays Judy.
You okay down there, Brenda?
Recast as their daughter. Most of her performance is her being scared out of her wits while reciting this poem, Lucy Lockett Lost Her Pocket. Much of her role involves reacting in terror, but she does sell it convincingly. That's not easy to do. However, you'd think the Holy Prayer would be more effective than some British poem that was written back in 1842. What is the relevance here? How does this even work? Why does this work? Oh, so many questions. And the whole side plot about wanting to marry Judy seems like a distraction. And I get it, they're trying to pass the torch along because they want to do spin-off movies, because we all know this Conjuring franchise won't ever end. It's making too much money. Inconceivable! It just feels so forced. Kia Lord Cassidy's nuanced performance stands out amongst the Smurl family as Heather.
It's a mirror.
Instead of defaulting to loud screaming, she shows silent, paralyzing terror, or hyperventilation that elicits deep empathy. She treats the supernatural horror as genuine psychological trauma, rather than exaggerated movie hysteria. So, overall, the franchise ends not with a bang, but with a whimper. Fans deserve better, in my opinion. It's the result of a lack of ideas, mixed with unbearable, slow-boil pacing, leading up to an anticlimactic ending. Good acting only carries a movie so far. This is the kind of broad, generic, gateway horror targeted at middle schoolers. That's not my issue. I'm all for getting the next generation interested in horror movies. My issue is mainstream studios manufacturing and distributing this brainless slop, which is taking theater space away from genuinely creative, independent filmmakers. It just seems like a lot of wasted time, money, and resources. Between the lazy scares, goofy effects, and recycled haunted house cliches, the film never really recaptures the tension that James Wan did in the first two Conjuring movies.
Is that what I am? Is that what I'm doing?
Yes.
This doesn't even hold a candle to that. The lack of emotional depth taints the legacy this finale leaves behind. There's no sense of closure either, no real sense of finality. It's just a series of chaotic calamities surrounding a plot involving a haunted mirror. It made me want to watch Oculus instead. So I'd only recommend this if you're a die-hard Conjuring fan. If not, go watch Oculus. It's so much better. It actually messes with your mind, and it makes you rethink what you just watched. So, my official grade for The Conjuring Last Rites is a small popcorn.
Serenity now!
And remember, consider The Conjuring franchise signed, sealed, and devil-livered.
Well, I think this evil mirror should reflect on its performance.
So, this concludes the Dishonourable mentions for the worst horror movies of 2025. Do you agree with my picks? Leave comments below. And stay tuned for the top 5 worst horror movies of 2025. Coming soon.
Please, I'm begging you, please. Don't do this.
What other movies do you think were really bad last year? Or just downright disappointing. I know I joked around and I had some fun here, but I really do encourage you to watch all these movies at least once. You can't really judge a movie until you see it for yourself. So, don't take my word for it. This is just my opinion.
You're not. Give me a. Oh.
You might actually like some of these movies. You never know. The only thing scarier than a disappointing horror movie is not giving it a chance and missing out. I just know that there's so much better movies out there than these. So, you've been warned. I watch bad movies so you don't have to. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell too, so you don't miss out. And remember, these flicks are like a failed seance. They couldn't summon anything within me. Not even my horror spirits. So, until next time. I'll see you at the movies. Have a great day. Did you know that I'm a film critic for HorrorBuzz.com? You can read my reviews on their website, and I make frequent appearances on their YouTube channel, HorrorBuzz Live. So I'll leave links below for that too.